Hello, ladies. How's everybody doing? Oh, hey, CJ, how you doing? I know some people get their notices and other people don't, so we can chit chat a little bit until we see the wave come in. Hi, Nancy. Good thing, CJ. You made yours, right? You already made yours, didn't you? Brooke, you got a notification. Amazing. Most people, I hardly, you know, I don't know how many people I'm subscribed to, and I get very few notifications. And then when I do, it's like halfway through. So, um, you know, I usually end up having to watch the repeats. And I'm talking about notifications for anything, whether it's lives or just posting of videos. It's just really strange. Hey, Kathy. Oh, you got notification. Great. Well, maybe something's changing. I don't know. Oh, Cheryl got a notification. Hi, Jennifer. Oh, looks like people are getting notifications. Oh, this is fantastic. Well, Jennifer, some people, you didn't, but some people ordered late and they don't have theirs either. But I figure very few people are actually going to, probably be doing it with me. They're probably going to watch it and the next day or whenever they are up to it, actually work on it. And like I mentioned, I'm going to take it slow because several people told me this is going to be their very, very first journal. So I think that's pretty cool if we just take it easy on the first one. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Luce. And then after that, then hopefully what we'll be doing is we'll be learning techniques that will build upon each other, and so that we can be a little bit more creative in our journal making as we go on. So I think that's how we'll approach it. So the very first one obviously is January's. I'll go a lot slower, show how to put the journal together, and then after that we'll be able to do some cool stuff with the other months as they come along. Hey, Tamar. Did I say hello, Linda? I looked down. I'm really bad. I looked down again instead of looking at the monitor. I think for next time, I'm going to make arrangements with somebody, to go on with me and be my reader because I already know myself. I'm bad. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Mitts. Because I totally know myself. I just get in the zone and then I don't even look up anymore. Which kit are you talking about, Luce? For January, Januaries are all sold out. I I didn't realize that people would be that interested, so I was using materials that I had limited amounts of, and so I could only make so many. And even at that, I sold some with the hardback, and then those sold out, and then I sold quite a few or just as many with the print out. But then all the other stuff that went with it, I ran out of that. So I had to put a stop. So I don't have any for January. Yes, February will be coming up, and we're going to be doing Frida Kahlo. So I know a lot of people enjoy her work. I will be honest with you. I'm not a fan of her work. I'm a fan of Diego Rivera, who was her husband. So, but I know most of you don't even know who Diego Rivera is, so it's pointless to do anything about him. So, so I figure let's do Freda, and I might stick in a few little things of Diego's. Just sneak it in there. Oh, Jennifer's gonna go charge up her phone and herself. She's getting a snack. So, Luz, I saw that you're gonna have a sale. You're gonna be, you know, the date that you're moving now, or is it still kind of up in the air? See, Linda, that's what I like. I like his murals, and you know, I know he's mostly famous for his political murals, but I actually like his murals that he did. My favorite ones are the ones that he did of the marketplace. I love the women with the flowers, and it was his happy side. I like his happy side art. And then you know, Frida and him together, they kind of go to the dark side. So well, I think most women prefer Frida because, you know, she has obviously a woman's story to tell, and it is so, you know, it has so many layers to it. And if you don't identify with one, you identify with something else that went on in her life. So he's got some beautiful murals in Los Angeles too. It's just gorgeous, gorgeous stuff that he has over there. Yeah, I love the colors too. Well, you know, actually both of them, they used pretty much the same, I would think the same color palette, but when he went to his happy space, that's what I like. Well, I'm surprised a lot of you are familiar with Diego, to tell you the truth. I thought you'd go, who? Because nobody ever talks about him. Hi, Tanya. Yeah, nobody. I mean, I never hardly ever see anyone bring him up. It's just always Frida, 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 Frida. So I'm happy to know you guys even know who he is. We had a unusually warm day today. Um, we should be in the very coldest part of winter where I live, and it was 72 degrees. So, you know, it's with an I, Brooke. Only an I. I opened up my windows. That's unheard of in January. I opened up all my house. I did all my doggies' bedding. I threw everybody outside. Linda. She knows more than she wants to. Yeah, I know. She was a very complicated woman. but she never gave up. If nothing else, you can learn from her is that she never gave up. But she still died young, you know. Yeah, Jennifer. Linda. And especially a guy she didn't really even like that much, right? I think their art brought them together. Their mode of expression. And they both like the dark side, so. So how many of you are just going to watch and then work on your kit later? Or are you, how many, let me rephrase that. How many of you that are here that have a kit are going to literally be working along with me at real time? I doubt not very many, but just in case you are, let me know. Anybody? That'll help me determine my pace at what I'm going to be doing this. Which bed are you in, Johnny? At home or at the nurse at the nurse's station? Oh, Tammy. Well, I'm not going to finish today. To tell you, I'm going to break it up because for those that had expressed to me that it's their very first one, I don't want it to like frustrate them and be overwhelming and then they give up on their very first try. So, and I don't want to prolong it for a long, because sometimes we get on here and we're on here forever and ever and ever. So, so we're going to do it for a short period of time, and um, and then I'll stop. And if we still want to do something else, we can do it. But as far as actually working on the kit, we'll just do it for maybe, I'm not sure yet, maybe an hour, hour and a half or so, because time goes by so fast. I mean, it's so fast. And then whenever we get to that point, and then we'll pick it up tomorrow at the same time and see, where we end up. This is all just kind of, by ear right now because I don't know how long it'll take us to do it together. Okay, so it looks like most of you are probably going to be watching, which is fantastic. It takes the pressure off of me to like, are you there yet? Don't apologize, Sherry. It's actually easier for me. Because see, that way you can watch it back at your leisure and you can stop it, and that way I don't have to stop. You guys just stop on the repeat. It's easier that way. Okay, so for especially for those that you've never made one before. Well, first of all, um, this is what I made with my kit before I even put the kit together, right? And then I got a lot of the goodies and put them in the actual kit. So I'll put this aside and I'll be working strictly from what's in the kit right now. And that way I'm working with the stuff that you guys have. Now, some of you guys, the first ones that bought, you got a hardcover to one of my books. And then what I had done is I had cut it in half and then put it, landscape as opposed to putting it like that. It's a different size of a book. Then those sold out, and then I started selling the same kit with a printout. So some of you have the actual book, and some of you have the printout. The book that I saved for myself, you can see it's really bad. The cover I saved, it's all torn, and all the chipboard shows and all that kind of good stuff. So I'll have fun trying to cover that one up. But that's what we're dealing with. So what I did with mine is I basically cut it down in half. And for those of you, sometimes they are very, very odd numbers, right? For when how to determine where the middle of something is. And so I have I wouldn't call it a trick, but it's something we used to do a lot when I was in construction. And the old carpenters, showed me this and said this, you get the center right every time. You don't even have to know how to look at a ruler. I go, okay. And this is what they taught me to do. I've already started the scoring on here because you know how much I hate the X-Acto knife. So I wanted to do that when I'm not, live, getting all nervous, chopping myself up. Okay. So you kind of more or less guesstimate, where, you measure and you kind of guesstimate where it might be the center. And so here on this one, what I figured it was 4 3/4. That was my guess. All right. So I marked 4 3/4. And then what you do is you flip it around and you mark again a 4 3/4. And you're going to end up with two distinct marks. I hope, let me make it a little bigger so you can see. There's the marks I ended up with. And so the center is dead center to those two marks. And that is the quickest way of finding the center when it's a very odd number and you don't know how many ticks to count and it just gets crazy. So you measure and you use the same measurement, obviously. That's how you found the center. So I did 4 3/4, 4 3/4, ends up with those marks. Put a mark in between the two, and that is where it is. And the same thing, I did that down here and over here. And that is the quickest way to get yourself the center. All right, so let me finish scoring through this. I did most of it. As you all know that watch me, I can't stand. I can't stand working with the X-Acto knife. And if you guys are working on X-Acto knives in your videos, I fast forward. I don't watch, especially if they're live. I leave the room because I don't want to see you, blood all over the place. So I skirted several times. I don't know if I've done it enough. Yep, I did it enough. Okay. Till I hear that little snap. It may not be enough though. Here we go. Because these are thick. Hi, Suzanne. I notice there's several people that have lives right now. So if you guys are watching the repeat, thank you for showing up for the repeat. I appreciate it. So these are over 100 and something years old. So they kind of crumble and snap and crack and everything else. Okay. No blood was shed. I'm so happy. All right. So that's what I started off with. Now, for those of you that have the printout, well, then you have several options. I used the back to one of my watercolor pads, and this is pretty sturdy. This is pretty cool. And then I had these left over from some project. I don't know what. I could have used these. These were a tiny bit short, but they could still be used. And then I like buying these. I don't know what kind of books these are called, but you know, they must have a certain type of name. But this is you know, kids books, but it's pretty sturdy. It's pretty sturdy. So so if you had something like that, you could use that. You know, some of you guys have stuff left over from other little projects you might have. And then if all else fails, just some cardboard of some kind. Okay. Board books. Thank you. I knew they had a real name. What is the measurement of your cover? Well, heck if I know. I just cut it in half. Now you're asking the hard questions. It's 6 1/4 approximately by 4 3/4 approximately. It's off those little numbers, which I am not going to figure out what those are. So that's what that is. All right. Now, so I'm going to cut this. I'm going to be brave. And I'm going to cut this. Again, I did the same thing. I measured 4 3/4 in each way. These are the tick marks that I came up with. So now the center is right smack in the center. And that's where I will be cutting this in half for the one that will be gluing the print out on. I did not pre-cut this. I'm being brave. The things I do for you guys. Man. The things I do for you guys. And those of you who have bought from me, you have my address. So if I stab myself, you can always call 911 when I start bleeding on the floor and can't get to the phone. What kind of big cutter, Sheila? I think I'm being um, tool shamed. Am I being tool shamed? I think I'm being tool shamed. Okay. All right, so those are ready for the printouts. For you ladies that bought the printouts. There's the hardcover. Now what we need to do, oh, I had leftover piece. Maybe I won't have to cut one. Oh, yeah, I do have to cut it. It's not the right length. It's not the right length. All right, so now what we need to do is cut our spine. And there you can have it any width you want it. This one here was gigantum. I'm not going to make this other one as big. This is 2-inch, but you can pick, you know, any dimension that you want. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. Whatever this is, I'm going to use this leftover piece just because it's easier. Okay, that is 2.5. Right, so I'm going to use this one. For this. Just to cheat, you know how it is. We'll just cheat. And that will be my spine. Whoops. Not a good sign. Saying whoops. All right, so there's the spine to that. All right, so now you guys are going to notice the ones that have this. This is very thick. Now, your spine has to be the same thickness of whatever your front and your back is, or else you're going to run into problems and it's going to get all wonky and it's going to look like you don't know what you're doing. So let's make everybody think we know what we're doing. And so we're going to have to build up the spine of whatever cardboard or whatever it is that we're using. And you got to see if you have something that's the same thickness. So that is no way the same thickness. Now 2 of these is almost perfect. So that's what I'm going to do. And I have to double these up. So now I have to go cut again. All right. So I'm going to I'll do the same 1.5 inches on that one. And if you have any questions, oh, Rosemary's naughty. If you have any questions, just go ahead and put it, large type so I can, so as things are moving, I'll notice it. You know what I mean? Okay, let me stop. Let me read. Let me stop and read. I don't know why I'm naughty. I can't go that far to even read. I just noticed it, Brooke. I see your type. I see what you're doing. So there. Am I caught up? Am I caught up? Okay. So Brooke's the liar, not me, because I just saw that she called me a liar. So Liar, liar, pants on fire. All right, so let me do this one again, 1.5 inches, just because I can. Brooke wants a blue dress. What does it have to do with me? Okay, she's a fibber. She's a defibrillator. All right, so I'm going to cut this again to get the spine. And I need to cut 2 of these because I need the double thickness. I don't, for some reason, when I go on lives, it doesn't let me put links. Let me see if, I don't know if it'll let me do it on mine. I'll try in a second. Hold on. I know in the past it didn't let me, but I'll try. Hey, Jean. And for those of you that are just going to watch and then later on, play with your stuff, I'm going to start a playlist on YouTube, so that, all the January ones that have to do with this kit will be in one playlist. You don't have to look for them, and try and keep it a little easier that way. Okay, I need one more this width. Ooh, it was almost the same. I almost cheated. Oh well. Thanks, Brooke. Thanks a lot. My one fear in life. Oh, but it doesn't have to be that long. Let me cut it the right length first. That way I don't have to cut as much. Less cutting. Less cutting is our friend. Jennifer was going to go get a snack. And recharge her phone. Jennifer, they want a link to my Etsy shop. Okay, that's the right link. Yoo-hoo! All right, so now I can just go ahead and trace this because they're just going to be glued on top of each other. She's going to try. I'm sure you guys are all having a good time watching me cut this out. You may say, why didn't you cut that out before? Again, this is for the people that have never done this before. The rest of you chill out. And not everybody has big tools to play with. Okay. So clean off that edge a little bit. It's a rough cut. Alrighty. Where'd that other one go? There it is. Very good. These are almost the same. All right. Oh, they're supposed to be. That's the back to the other one. Ah! All right. So that goes there. This is the one that we're going to glue together. I mean, glue on the back. And then for those of you that are real new and are still kind of leery about doing, you know, your own spine and everything, I'm going to give you an option if you have a gutted book. So if you have a gutted book, you can, and if you're doing your, if you're doing this one, then you can get yourself a book and you can cut the book down. It's not going to be exact, but that's okay. That's no big deal. Just to show you there's different ways to do this, not just one way. And if you're intimidated by one way, you always have another option. All right. And this way, it's already got the spine all ready for you. And you don't have to worry about that part. All you got to do, here we go. I don't even have to cut this because I'm not going to put it together. I'm showing you the options. So if you have the printout and you don't want to do all this, and if you find it a little intimidating to do your book from scratch, get yourself a book, cut this out so you know the dimension, cut it this way, and you probably aren't going to have a book this wide, but that's okay. You can cut off a piece and it'll all work out. But you can go ahead and do that with a book. All right? All right. All right. So now the next step would be for those of you, well, the next step would be the ones that have the hardbound one, then to glue these two pieces together. That's going to be your spine. So let's go ahead and do that. I put a combination of double stick tape and glue. I do the double whammy. Let me find my double whammy stuff. Just because I figure, hey, if one falters, you got the backup. Vicky! Uh-oh, I see, hold on. I see capitals. Wait a minute. Wait, let me get my lost glue here. Okay. Capitals. Where are the capitals? Rosemary. Where are you? Hold on. I don't know how to approve anything. Okay, does that approve it? I don't know. You feeling better, Vicky? Poor Vicky had a bad cold. She couldn't even do her live. She's probably with her hot toddies right now. Vicky is the queen of the hot toddies. I don't see no link, Johnny. Do it again, maybe. Maybe it doesn't like retro. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. Oh, there it is. I see it now. Sounds like you have the flu, Vicky. You got the chills and everything else, all the bad stuff. Oh, see, I got distracted and I didn't pull that paper off, and now my finger is going to get all full of the glue. Oh, see, I'm so distracted. I did pull it off, didn't even know it. Never mind. You didn't see that, did you? Oh my gosh. Okay. So put those together and let them dry up pretty good. If you don't have like super duper glue and stuff, you can always do this and then put something to hold them together and let that dry all up. I need to get another one for the other side. Hold on one second. I'm prepared. Get rid of that dinky thing. Get rid of that dinky thing. Oh, with that big thing, I only need probably one, huh? That's okay. I got up. I don't want to have to say I got up for nothing. There we go. Yay! Okay, so that's drying for that one. So now, for those of you that have the printout, we will put that together. How are we doing? Any questions? No questions? Let me look. Okay. So now I think instead of, let's see if it works. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Instead of cutting this, I think I'll tear it because I like, you know, that edge to it. I'm an edgy person. Something flat. I feel like a bump. There's a bump on my table. I don't know from what. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, you just cut it in half, Suzanne. This was the original one I did, and then I thought, you know what? Let me just do the whole book. I had another book cover that looked better, so I just did the whole book. So just cut it in half. See, most of you just got the whole book like that. That's how you got it. Okay, Elizabeth, see you later. We'll be here. All right. Ta-da. So now we'll glue those down. And I think you can use any glue you want, but just for like gluing drying time, I think I'll use that. Let me see where my nope, I don't want that. Okay. Remove all goobers. We want to be gooberless. I think I need to get some new glue. I can't believe how fast I go through this. Thank heaven for coupons. See, it won't come out when you want it to, and then when you want it to stop, it just keeps flowing. It's so contrary. And then I'm just going to take a little piece of that cardboard and do that technical smishing and try to get it to the edges, which I do not always accomplish as well as I would like to. That's okay. And then get something, a credit card or anything you have, and try to get that down flat so you don't have a bunch of air bubbles. Bubbles are not our friends when we're trying to glue something down. Alrighty. 1, 2. Again, when you're doing this, I would recommend either double-sided tape or this kind of glue, or even a really good glue stick. Anything that's on the drier side, or else it's going to get all warped, and you're going to go, how come mine is all, all wonky wonky? That's because if you're dealing with wet glues, it wets your paper, and it's wetting your paper on one side. You're wetting the cardboard on one side. And so the drying just creates wonkiness. It's what water does to paper. Alrighty. So we got that. You got that done. And there's, some that's going to be coming over the edge. So what I like to do I have it here? No, hold on. I forget all the things I'm going to need. I like to use a sanding block. Now, if you have an emery board or anything like that, um, you could use that very easily. I'm going to do this over my trash can so I don't get all this dust all over my area, but I'm just going to sand this down. Here's that one. Okay, so the next thing that I would do on these is if you have any kind of ink, whether it's permanent or distress inks or, whatever you like to work with. You could use something like this or like that. Or if you wanted to use something that is permanent, it's whatever your choice is or whatever you have. I'm a great believer in using what you got. Now, because I may or may not put a coat over this of some kind of sealer or Mod Podge or whatever it is you like to use. Because I think I might do that or some shellac or something, I'm going to use the permanent because those of you that work with your distress inks, you know that they're water activated. If you put something liquid on them, they start moving all over the place, which is fine and dandy if that's the look you want. But I think for this particular project, I want to deal with something more permanent because I'm going to want to put a sealer over this. But again, whatever you got, whatever you like, that's what you use. I'm just trying to cover up the little edges there, that's all. Now, if you have a something that can cut through something really thick and you want to round those edges, this would be the time to do it so that you can put your distress over it. I think I need to get a real dauber. Look what that does. What this does. I think I need to get something real. What do you guys think? Huh? 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 Hey, looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. Okay. One down. Another good use for your cover is a scooper. Okay. All right. There you go. Now that's ready to go. The back, the double back one to that one is being glued down, and we've got these two ready to go. This one's in really, really bad shape, as you can see. It was really sad. I'm not sure how I'm gonna doctor that one up, but I'm definitely gonna doctor it up. Okay. Ooh. There we go. And that little sponge is now in the trash. Okay. Okay, what's going on? Let me see. Let's see. No questions? Yay! Oh, that's a good idea, Sheila. Put a little fabric. And I'm just going to break down and get a real thing. You know what I mean? That's still wet. That's still wet. All right. So now, with this one, let me show you. On mine, I left it the way it was in the inside. Just because I like the old, just the old stuff that was in there. And plus this one had some stamping on it. Oh, excuse me. So I just left it. That is up to you guys, if you want to cover it up or not. But obviously this one needs to be covered up because it's just plain. So let's rummage through the stuff that we have in the kit. Where's my kit? And see what we decide we want to put in there. Let me put this stuff I'm not using in this basket out of the way. That goes with that. All right. Let's see what papers might look cool on here. I was thinking of maybe either putting one of the dictionary pages on here, because the theme, if you guys end up going with the theme or not, was floral. I was thinking of it being something like a little book that you would be posting things like when spring comes, if you're going to plant things, or if you save things, or if you press flowers, whatever it is you do. Whatever you do. So I don't know if I want, maybe if I put some of that. I don't know, I keep thinking I want to put some of this. Or maybe some of this. Just the text part. I like using text. I think that's what I'll do. And let's tear it again. Good night, Vicki. Hope you feel better. Alrighty. Now, newbies and oldies alike sometimes make the mistake and put the picture upside down. So before you glue it down, make sure it's going the right way. This is facing toward the spine. So that means this is up, this is down. So make sure when you glue the inside, it's going the right way. There we go. Glue time. And I threw my little scraper away. Why did I do that? I thought I was done scraping. Retrieved from the trash. You know, before I do that, I'm going to cut the one that goes here because when I open up that glue, you know it's going to be going all over the place. You know that. Okay. Right side, right side. I got a little skimpy in the middle. Eggplant. Why not? And then what you can do the same with this is come around with your ink again. And if your paper's bent over a little bit, you can go ahead and file those down first. A little bit. A little bit. Again, keep in mind if you're going to put any kind of sealant that if you don't put permanent, it's going to move. So keep that in mind. And I tend to put it on the edges, but some people like it all over, whatever your preference is. Okay, so let's look again now. Put that there in case we need it again. All right, so we have our front and our back ready to go. This one's still pretty sad. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. How I'm going to pretty it up. Not sure yet. I'll figure something out. Not sure what though. Okay, what are you guys chattering about? You're going to punch my camera in the face. Where is this violence coming from? What is my camera doing? Tell me. I probably need a new one. You gonna buy me one? Somehow I kind of believe that. Okay. Uh once I get into my live stream, it won't let me get in there to stop the autofocus. When I started the stream, I put it on autofocus. As soon as I leave there and go to YouTube, it won't let me go back in. It drives me crazy, and I hate that. Whoops, see, I'm doing it. I see it right now. I'm surprised you guys are still here. If I was watching something and it was doing that, I'd be gone already. So I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I know. Because see, it won't let me go in because when I try to go in right now to stop it, it tells me that my program is in use and it won't let me go in. Well, yeah, it's in use. I'm using it. And because it registers being in use, it won't let me go in and do anything with it. I have two programs. I have Logitech, right? Logic? Yeah, Logitech. Yeah, in one respect, the camera is super easy. You plug it in, you turn it on, and it works. In other respects, when you want to control aspects of the camera, it's horrible. It took forever for a lot of you had been watching me for a little while. It took forever for my new computer to even recognize my camera, which it it does now. I'm on my you you don't see it going up and down, Jean? You don't see the autofocus going crazy? How can some people see it going crazy and some don't? Okay, now that's really strange. But Jean, was it doing it before? Yeah, exactly. I'm not moving anything. Watch it take this away and it's going to try and focus. See, it's trying to focus. It can't find anything to focus right now. Thank you. See, someone sees I have problems, but they don't want to come and punch me in the face about it. See, true friends are coming through. Okay, I'm not too sure what to do about it, but I know how irritating it can be. So I'm thinking maybe we should. Oh, I've been on already for over about an hour and 20 minutes. And for those people that are going to play it back, I don't want 3 hours of irritation. An hour and 20 minutes of irritation, not too bad. You know, people can handle it. So when I first got this back onto my desktop, it wasn't going in and out. Everyone says, nope, it's autofocus. It's not doing anything. Great, 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 great. Well, I have done absolutely nothing to change anything, and now it's doing it. So I'm going to have to play around with it and figure out what is going on. No, Brooke. Yes, it is. I hate it. It irritates me to death. I won't watch other people's when they're doing that. I just move on. I don't need the headache because it literally gives me a headache. No, no, no. There's nothing wrong in you telling me that. I'm glad you did because every time I looked up, it wasn't doing it. Oh. Let's see. Do you leave the camera settings open when you go live or you close it? I close it out, Johnny, because if I have it open and I go over to try and go live, it tells me I can't go live because my camera is open somewhere else. So I go over there and I close it. And then when I go back to start streaming, sometimes autofocus is on, sometimes it's off. I always try to have it off, but it just go to my I okay, let me see if I can go there. If you guys lose me, you know why. I'm going to see if I can go there and do that, but I'm not too sure. Let me see. Here's Logitech camera. And I'm going to go there and I bet you it's going to say in use. Quick capture. Is that quick cap? And see when I put the whoops, when I put the camera on my new, see it tells me right now, webcam is in use. And it doesn't give me any options. And it shows right there autofocus is off. Let me put it on and off and see if it stays. If it stays. Okay. I did something dangerous. I pushed the buttons. I pushed the buttons. So let's see. Holy moly. I had to turn it off and turn it back on and then turn it off. Woohoo! Maybe it needed the old rebooty. I think it's fixed for now after an hour and a half of irritation. Let me know what happens. If it starts getting crazy, everybody say it at the same time so I know. Oh man, I don't know what I did. Remember a little while ago I had the itchy problem. It went away and then it came back again. So I'm not sure. I think it's those Texas plants or those Georgia plants, one of those plants. Okay, so here is, let me clean this up a little bit. And here is that spine that's been gluing for this one. If you came in a little bit later, what I did is I got some cardboard, and because this book was so thick, I had to double up on my cardboard so that it would be the same height, and it is almost perfect. Almost. I don't think I could get any closer than that. So pretty cool. So that will be the spine for the hardback. And we've got the little guy here. This is just fine when one of them is about the same. Oh, it came from the same one. Of course it is. I'm okay. I'm okay. All right. So the next thing we're going to do, if you guys are still up to it, if you're still with me, yeah, I got those Georgia plants. They might be making me have a chicky goomies. Look at that. It made my whole arm just go kind of woohoo. All right. Okay, so if you on what I did, okay, let me backtrack. When I put my books together, I hardly ever use the same method. Not because I want to be difficult with myself. It's because, I'm always switching things up. So on the one that I showed you guys, what I did with this one is I've got some tape back here, I got tape over here, and then I use the muslin to cover it all up. So I'm just going to do it the way I did it before so that, kind of consistent. So you'll know exactly how I did that one. The next journals I may do them different. So you'll see all the kind of goofy ways I put them together because, like I say, I hardly ever do them the same. So what I would suggest you guys do before you do the next step, if you're the muslin that I put in there, you would either, if you want to leave it plain, well, that's fine and dandy. If you want to coffee or tea stain it, if you want to distress it, you want to stamp it, whatever you want to do, this would be the time to do it. I decided to stamp mine just because, no particular reason. I was just in the mood. So, so what I would do is I would cut the piece the length that you need it, because we'll be using this maybe for the other part of the binding. Whatever moves me. I don't really know what I'm going to do with it yet, but I may not want it looking the same way that I am going to prepare it for there. So I would go ahead and cut it a little, just a tiny bit, maybe a 1/4 inch bigger on either end, and then I just like to tear everything. That's just what I do. So then that's all ready to go right there. And so then I would decide if I want to stamp it or if or what I'm going to do with it. And I think because of time factor here with you guys, I'm just going to go ahead and stamp it because it wouldn't be practical for me to go over and, brew some coffee, and you know what I mean. So I kind of like this. And I don't know, I kind of do. And I could just do that with the brown ink, right? I think so. I think so. I think it would look cool. Let's just go ahead and try that. And if it doesn't work, well, if it you know, what can I do about it? And I think it will cover the whole thing, right? Pretty much. And this is running really low. I hope it's got enough ink to do something. All my ink pads are really running dry. And I don't really hardly use them that much. So that's kind of weird. All right. So let me give a little cushion to that. When you stamp, you want a little bit of a cushion. And I hope there was enough ink on there. I do stir these upside down, so I've gotten quite a bit of use out of them. But I still like to complain. Ooh, let's do this. Oh, not bad. Let me fill up the little gaps here. Okay, so we got that. So that I did in permanente. And maybe, just maybe, it's almost the same color, so it's kind of covering it up, which kind of defeats the purpose, but I'll just do the edge. Oh no, you can still see it through. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. It's still cute. Just adding to the dirty grunginess, because if I had the foresight, I would have probably tea stained it, but I wasn't thinking ahead. Just to look a little bit different, because the one I already did, I kind of sort of did it the same way. I just used different color. I do like with a little bit of a green tone with it if I'm going to use those covers. What did I put on there? I don't know half the stuff I use. Let me see. Let me see. Well, I have no idea. I have nothing here that looks like it should be green. Oopsie. Oh, double oopsie. This is vintage photo. Oh, how strange. Look, that vintage photo, look at that cover. And then that vintage photo, look at that cover. And this is the same one. And they all, let's see if it looks like a different color when you work on it. No, it looks the same. No, same. Oh, well, I don't know what I used on that one. It looks green. Oh, I don't have a green, so It's one of those mysteries. I don't have anything remotely called. Well, c'est la vie. Alrighty. Okay, I forgot to look up. Any questions? Probably not. Alrighty. So, should we go on or should we work on the binding tomorrow so these videos aren't so long for those that want to come back and, that are doing it for the first time and have the replay and, all that stuff. What do you guys think? Walnut stain. Well, you wouldn't be hanging. It would just be one of those Batman moments, same channel, same time, whatever. All right. So I just don't want the video to be too long for the repeaters, You know what I mean? Let me do this one first. We'll do this one first. All right. Again, make sure. And you got this. You got that going. Very good. All right. So at this point, there are so many different things that you guys can use to bind this if you have not done it before. You can use different types of tapes that are, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Really durable tapes. You can get cloth tape. You can get bookbinding tape. You can use Tyvek. You can use fabric. There's endless things that you can use to connect your binding. I mean your, you know what I mean, your spine, your binding, your spine. All right, because I put this in there. I think I'm going to go ahead and use some cloth because that obviously is very, very durable. And what I normally do when I do the cloth, I will just with any kind of cheap tape you have, because the tape isn't keeping it together ultimately. Your fabric is. It's just keeping it together for you to work with for your fabric to glue down. And I think I'm just going to use, just because it's something that everybody probably has, it's just regular old masking tape. Because again, the tape is not going to be holding this binding. The fabric is going to. So don't freak out like, oh my gosh, she's using blah, 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 blah. No, don't worry about it. If you have even duct tape, you could use it. I think I have some duct tape. Whatever it is you want to use. Although sometimes the duct tape, I've noticed, tends to move when, after use, and it's thick. For some reason, the masking tape doesn't move. And if it did, it's super thin, so it wouldn't make any difference. So that's why I tend to use the masking tape. All right. Just so you know why I use it. Now, what's important when you're making your own spine is the thickness. This is where I think some people get kind of frustrated because their book doesn't open and close freely. Your the distance between your new spine and your cover has to be at least the same thickness of what your board is for it to be able to move. Because if you get it butted up, it's not going to have any place to move. It's just going to be stiff, or you're going to crack something, or you're going to break something, or it's going to unglue. Whatever you're using, it is not going to work. So if you have a scrap of whatever you're using for your spine, you can use that sort of like a guide or a template, whatever you want to call it, to have the proper distance. Now you can go wider, but you don't want to go too much wider, because when you go wider, you also are going to be able to accommodate. Remember, whatever you're going to have, whether it's paper, whatever you're going to have that's going to be secure in your binding, that's adding a little bit of thickness too. So adding maybe a thickness and a half would not be a bad idea, so that it will accommodate whatever it is you're using, because that's going to add to the thickness. Okie dokie. So that is simple enough. Same thing with this. We're going to have to do the same thing with this. Is whatever we use for our spine, that's the distance it's going to be. So everybody's distance is going to be different. That's why I'm not giving you measurements, because whatever you're using, that's going to determine your distance. Clear as mud? I hope so. All right, so let's get the old masking tape. Start off with a straight edge. And because I've done this so many times, I kind of just eyeball it. So let me line this up. And an easy way too to do this is, if you have something that does have some grids, put one where it needs to be on the line. Bring whatever it is you're using for your measurement. And then you can see where that lines up. And then you know when you get your tape to make sure that those are still kind of in the same spot. And that'll be helpful, because it gets a little tricky. And I usually don't use one full piece for that same reason. You try to line it up and then you just mess it all up. Just do it in two pieces, because again, ultimately this is not keeping your journal together. It's sort of, you're just using it sort of like imagine how you use a paper clip to do things, or a little clip. That's all this is really for. It's just a little cheater. Just a little cheater. All right, line this up right here on one of your lines. See where this goes. Same. And then if you want to add a little bit, just visually add that little bit, and you line it up, and you'll be ready to go. Double check everything. Make sure at least one end is straight. And pray for the rest to line up. But hey, that's why they're called junk journals. They don't have to be perfect. You want a perfect book? Go buy one. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing in the back. I'm just going to clip that off a little bit. Oops. Okay, here we go. Okay, so now you have the equivalent of your binder clips holding your project together. I just repeat that so people don't freak out. Like, what is she doing with the masking tape? Binder clips. Binder clips. All right, put that all down nice and secure. And you could be using any kind of tape. All right, so now you have your book. And at that point, that's when you can decide on various ways of what you want to do and how you're going to do your binding. And so just for this particular one, we have decided that we're going to use this. All right, in the front, in the back, inside, you know what I mean. And where's my stuff? Now, when I did this, I also, before I put the finished fabric, I also in the back put a piece of the muslin. All right. So just so you are thinking ahead, that's what I did with these two pieces. All right. Okay, so now there are two ways to do this also. You could glue this in and it's ready to go. Or, which I do often, is I end up sewing my signatures to this and then I glue all of this down. And so I'm trying to think which way we should do it for me to show you which is the easier way, because I don't want to show you the hardest way. So let me think a second, which would be easier. Let me think that through, because I know what I like doing, but I don't know if that's the easy way to do it. Give me a second. I got to think about this. I need to think about this. Let's just do it that way. You can find the normal way on any tutorial out there. So let's just go a little goofy here. We're supposed to be learning something different, right? Okay, right. All right, this is what I do. I get a piece of cardstock or something similar, or really, really thin packaging, from some kind of a box or something, but I almost always use cardstock, right? And I'll show you. I'm gonna explain it right now, and then I'll walk you through it, and we'll do it together. But I'll explain it first. I get a piece of cardstock, something about the same of this, and then I'll cut it short, narrower, so that when this opens up, it's very free. So we're going to get a piece of cardstock. We'll first cut it the same size. Then we'll start sizing it to make it just right. Usually it's about 1/8 we got to trim off. And then we'll have to already decide how many signatures we're going to do. So we might have to put our signatures together or just predetermine X amount of signatures. So then I take that piece of cardstock and I either glue or sew it onto the back of this. So now we have a piece of cardstock back here, and back here on the cardstock is where we can mark where our signatures are going to go, and then we can punch the holes through, and then we sew our signatures, because now you have something sturdy to hold on to because you have that cardstock back there. And you sew your signatures in, and then when those are all sewn in together, then on that cardstock, we put our glue and our tape, whatever it is we want to use. We put it in here. It's all nice and good and glued and everything. Once that is dried, then we can come back and glue our muslin or whatever fabric we're using down onto our cover. That is how I do it. I'm sure there's 101 different ways to do it, but that is how I did this. All right, I've got back in here is cardstock that is glued onto this fabric. And then this, once it's all, my signatures were sewn on, then this right here was glued in, kind of left it overnight, and then came back and glued these down onto the cover. Whoops, upside down. Hello. Down into the cover. I even lost my little nameplate. Oh my goodness, what was I doing? Got too excited there. Anyway, all right. So if that makes sense, now we'll try and do it. So let me get me some piece of cardstock. Oh, and sometimes if I have like leftover manila folders from when I'm using stuff, I use the manila folder too. I mention that because I see on the other side of the table that I have some. So I think that's what I'll use. I try to use all the junk I've got, you know, all over the place. Okay, so this was a piece I had left over. And so the simple way, if you already know you're going to do that, you know, then you could have used this as a template. But this one and the other one's the same size. So we'll go ahead and start off with that, and then we'll trim it down so that it fits, so it moves really easily. All right. Now, it's not too bad already. You want it to have, you want to be able to move it to side a tiny bit. So let's just, I don't know if you can see in there. Oh yeah, you can halfway. Let me move my hand over here. So there's a little bit of movement in there, and that's what you want. Now, remember though, that your fabric's going to be there. And even though the fabric's going to be on top, the thickness is still going to be around. So go ahead and lay it there for right now for this particular little experiment and see how stiff it is. Whoops, wrong hand. See how that's not making any movement at all because of that, just that little bit of thickness of the fabric. It's not moving at all. So that means we need to cut it a tiny bit more. And now see it wiggle? You see that little wiggleness in there? Perfect. All right, so this is the one we're going to use. And I like to cut it a little shorter than the actual length because I don't want it really being seen. We don't need to see that at all. So there we go. And I think we're all set with the piece that we're going to be using. Let's try it one more time. We're going to be using here for our spine. Yeah. Oops. All right. So that's good. That's done. So now the next thing we have to determine, and you can do that whether you're doing it with a one from scratch or, you know, if you're doing it with the hardcover. Same principle applies to both. All right, so now we have to decide how many signatures we want. And I don't really know how many we want. This one is, I ended up making this, what? I think it was 1.5 inches, right? Yeah, a little bit over 1.5 inches. And I think this one was 2 inches. 2.25 inches after it was done. And I have in here one, two, three, 4 signatures plus these thingamajiggers. So I'm thinking maybe only 3 for in here, I'm guessing. Okay, now here comes the part which, if I was doing this just on my own, I wouldn't do this yet. I would start putting my signatures together just to see, if I'm going to do 3, if I'm going to do 4, what I'm going to do. So I'll leave it up to you guys. If you want me to go ahead and predetermine how many signatures we're going to put and start putting this together, or should we just go ahead and start with our signatures? Or should we just stop here because you know what we're going to be doing next, and then we'll be working on our signatures to put them in? I know, too many questions. Too many questions, I know. Yes, no, maybe, A, B, C. Okay. Okay, ultimately, we need to know how many signatures before we start punching holes all over the place. So, I guess I should be the grown up and answer the question and say the next thing is we need to get our signatures, so we know how many numbers of signatures we've got. So we can either do that now, votes, suggestions. Only one of my Walmarts sell fabric. All the rest don't. And they're super centers. Well, I think it doesn't take I don't think it'll be exhausting if I continue as far as putting signatures together, because that's, everybody knows how to cut a piece of paper, but some people just enjoy watching other people put things together. So let's put our signatures together so that we know how many we're going to have. And then tomorrow, once we determine our signatures, then we'll go into the next stage of what I do with this and how we sew the signatures together. I think that's the smartest plan to have, because I don't know how many signatures is going to fill up this gap in the way I want it to be filled up. I'm guessing it's going to be maybe 3. I don't know, but that's just a guess. So, so I think that's what we'll do. And when it comes to this one, you guys, I'm going to do this one off camera because it's identical to this. I'm going to do it identical. So there's not going to be any difference in how this is put together. It's identical to this. Okay. Hey, Donna, did I say hello? I don't know who I said hello to. I don't know. Hello, everybody. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do, where's my little, is this everything for my packet? I don't know what's in my packet. Now, those of you that got the kit, I need to let you know that the papers you got are my grungy papers. I don't want you to think that my eco-dyed papers look like this. My eco-dyed papers are pretty. These are either the ones that didn't work out, or I used them up to clean up stuff with, or they goofed off, or I just didn't like them, or they didn't print, and I use them as my grungy papers. So when I make journals, those are like my filler pages because I just love the way they look. But they're not representative of my real prints. I just want to put that out there. That little other package you got, that's how my prints are supposed to look. All right, so I know for sure I want to fill up my journal with a lot of these. So which way do these fit? I already forgot. I guess they go that way, huh? Because that makes them too short that way. So they'll go like that. What am I doing? I'm doing something wrong here. Which way do I want them to go? No, they got to go this way, huh? That's the longest. Yeah. Okay, so they're going to go that way. And I'm just going to cut them in half, just tear them in half. Because I like that look. I just like things, you know, I like things messy. And I don't like to measure. I'm lazy. Okay, so I'm just folding in half, and in half. And that will start my signatures right there. I keep doing this backwards. They need to be folded this way. You're seeing my dyslexia and work here. It's so hard for me to, I will do everything backwards 3 times before I do it the right way. That's just the way my brain goes. So be patient with me. Ooh, that's already thick right there. Maybe I won't be able to use all these. Okay, let me find some other stuff I'm going to put in there. I like the lines. Whenever possible, I like the lines going the way that you write instead of sideways. I got enough problems. I don't need more frustration. And I know a lot of people, when they make their journals, they don't like anything sticking out on the top or the bottom or the side. I don't care. I like it sticking out all over the place. But that's just me. And sometimes I'll straighten it, I'll straighten it out a little bit. I like, I guess, what you would call the organic look. Now, see, this one, because it had that chair, so that's too narrow for a page, right? Although it looks kind of cute when you have little short things like that. I like that. Again, not everybody does. I do. I don't like my pages the same size anywhere. Up, down, side. And see, I like that. That doesn't bother my feelings at all. All right. Oh, and we've got some of those papers. Let's see how these fit. That goes out quite a bit though, huh? Let's do it in half first. And we're talking, it's a lot. So what kind of looks cute also is, we'll do this. It just makes it really simple. I'm just going to cut off, about the width of this, ooh, the itch of this ruler. Put that there. And then on some of these other papers, this will look really cool glued on it somewhere. So we'll start a little pile of things that we're going to glue on. And, oh, I love epiphyllums. I don't know how many people are familiar with epiphyllums. My mother grows them. And I just think those are so beautiful. So I want that full page. I don't want that one messed up so much. So I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to get a piece of, or maybe even this, a piece of something, and I'll glue 2 pages together so this can, I'll have to cut some from here, but so that this is a fuller page, and then I'll have another page. We'll do that together in case you haven't done that before. edging. I've done that. I put the edging up. Okay, let's see what else we got. Well, that I'll use later for gluing. I'm going to probably glue that stuff later. That'll be, we'll put that in there. I'm not sure how that'll go in there, but that's going like that. And I think that one might go like that. Save that for cutting out. That's for tags, and that's for tags. All right, so for, oh, let me cut some of these. So about September. All right. And I think for these, I'll just fold these over so I don't cut them to the right length. And then later on, if I decide to cut them off or something, I can do that. But for right now, I'll just keep them together. I do tend to change my mind halfway through, so that's another problem. All right, we're getting a nice tile. Let's move this over here. This stuff we're going to be tucking in later. Right now, we're just concentrating on actual pages. All right, so this now on the one that I did before, I sewed them. I sewed that, but it doesn't have to be sewed, so it can be glued. And I'm just trying to get the thickness, see what we're doing. And, you know, if you have scrap pieces of paper, you know, that you want to throw in there, go for it. Now, this other piece of file folder, I like pieces of file folder in there as pages also. Here's that piece. As you can gather, I don't, if you've never seen my journals before, I don't make cutesy journals, what I call cutesy journals. I make them kind of rough and tough. I don't think there's anything cute about my journals. All right, so I think I'll use my leftover ones. I think we'll be able to use these. Here I go again. going backwards. All right, so let's now kind of separate. I kind of like, let's just start off with 3 piles, because I'm thinking that might be where it ends up. If not, we can, well, maybe 4. Hold on, let me see. It might even be 4. Let's start off with 4. And then we'll just see how many pages we're ending up with. Hey, wait a minute. I'm already uneven. Okay, there we go. And I need to get another page to make that page, but I can do that later. All right, so let's put these inside of each other and see what kind of thickness we're coming up with. And we can just do it any old way, because we can rearrange them later if we think we want it different. We're just going for thickness, for volume. Okay. I need some more regular paper in here. Too many of just these. Let me find something. Let me find something in my stash. Oh, I'm gonna help you. You guys were here the other day. I did some wax on some prints. I think I'll put that in there. So we'll put one of these in there. And then I'll figure out later how I'm putting how I'm going to do that exactly. Not too sure yet. Not too sure yet. And then we got this guy. So you got 4. Let's see if we put that in the center and stuffed it with stuff. Let's see how we're looking. That might be pretty good right there. Oh, yes, Jennifer. Oh, my bundle. Oh, thank you, thank you. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Which way did it go? Where's my bundle? Good thinking. It's here somewhere. Uh-oh, seriously, where'd it go? I can't find, oh, here it is. I'm gonna say, I can't find the bag that my kit was in. Here it is. Yay! Oh. Okay, so for those of you, that got my kit, and you're going, why didn't she take all those leaves out? My theory was, you guys would have fun, opening up a bundle, not realizing that once you got it, it's just one hot mess. It's just stuff falling all over the place. So I don't think I'll do that again. My idea behind it, I think, was okay. How it actually ended up happening is a little dubious. Okay, so this is what my eco-dyed papers look like. Not like the filler stuff you saw. Okay, so let me think how I'm going to put those in there. How I want them. I'm going to go like that, and then I'll cut them. Or we're going to do it like that, and I fold them. Or, I don't know yet. So let's just cut one first, lengthwise. Let's do a lengthwise one first. And then, where's my, I'm getting too much stuff on my desktop here. Oopsie. Okay. So we got one. And I'm thinking, how about if we folded one like this? So, oh, that's almost perfect. We can cut this one off. That's a prettier side. We'll do it this way. And if we did something like that, and that could be kind of cool. And then you can see him making still have a pocket in here. I think that could work. You don't have to do every piece, but I think with one piece at least, or two, that'd be kind of cool. So we put that together like that. We got one more. We got this. That can just be a plain old page. Or you could make a tag out of it or whatever. I'll say just for now, it's going to be part of a page. And now we still have this. Hello. We could do another one of these. And then we'd have another page. Why not? Why not? We'll cut this one off because it's pretty on both sides. We can use that as a page. And so then this could go on one of these, on any one of them. And then the last one could go on here. So you would all have a little thingamajigger with a little pocket. Okay, so now, hello, nice and chunky. I think that'll work. It's almost kind of, but I haven't really, folded all these things, but I still haven't stuffed anything either. Okay, well, this is going to be a pretty chunky monkey, so that's good. I like them that way. I don't care. Some people don't like them opening up and, you don't like the alligator mouth. Well, put something on there to keep the mouth shut, Okay. Yay! All right, so having done that, that means we have 4 that we're dealing with, which I hate odd numbers. And I'll tell you why. In case you haven't run across this or you haven't done this before, let me find my pieces parts so I can explain properly. All right. Now, when you have an odd number of signatures, you can be brain dead and do your thing. If you have even numbers, you have to have a brain for math, and I don't like doing stuff like that. So when you have an odd number, all you have to do is fold this thing in half. That's your center one. And then whatever's left over, you even them out and you put your other 2, which would be 5. Or if you have 3, it's real obvious where to put it. Now, when you have 4, it's like, okay, you can't use the center. And then you have to offset, like in the middle, you know what I'm saying? It's a pain in the patootie. So usually my goal is to have an odd number. Now I could use the exact same papers. It wouldn't be any different. And I could turn that into 3 or I could turn it into 5. And for the beginner, it would be much easier. And for me, it would be much easier. So just a heads up, if sometimes you have difficulty getting your signatures lined up and other times it's no problem, you look back and it's going to be, if you had odd numbers, it's easy. If you have even numbers, it gives me a math headache. All right. So having said that, one easy way for me to, but then they wouldn't be even. I mean, as far as thickness, what I could do is put just this, because it's a little thicker and I could put stuff in it. I could have that be in the center, which now gives me odd numbers. Now I have the center one to work with. And I think that's what I'll do. I don't care if I'm cheating. I know, Brooke. I hate math headaches. I don't like headaches to begin with. But if they're brought on because of math, I'm out of here. Okay, so that I don't have a math headache, I'm gonna put that one in the center. And so now that allows me to have it as an odd number. And now I'm happy. I'm a happy camper now. And because that's going to be in the center, this might look kind of cool in there. just kind of smack in the center like that, glued down, or even just in there like a page. Hey, hey, man, that might be kind of cool just right there. Mm-hmm. And now remember, you still have other goodies we're going to put in there. So we got all these little leftovers. I'm keep that there. That's for you know what. Okay. Okay. All right. So I think we're in agreement that we have 5 signatures that we're going to be dealing with. And it's going to be chunky, and I don't care. Because after all, this one's pretty chunky too. So what do I care? I like it that way. All right. I think we're in agreement. Now we're all right. So now if I already had the spine on this one, which I don't, then you know, you can see how cool all this looks together. And it's gonna end up looking pretty cool. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. All right, so let me, just so I don't like, you know, touch something and it all goes flying across the room and I got to put them all over all together again. That's that. All right. Now, if we were to do this now, you can see how clunky and, you know, it is and everything. You can see how a mess it would be now to work in the outside. So we need to do our outside before we sew all this clunky stuff in here, or else it's going to be really, you know, hard to deal with the front. So I think now you guys can visualize what we're doing with the inside, right? You already know that we're going to glue this to this. We're going to, before I glue it, you know, I'll mark out and punch the holes for the signatures. Then we will glue or sew, whatever it is you guys prefer to do. Glue or sew this to this. And now you have the template back here to punch the holes through. And then we're going to sew these onto there. And it's going to be glued down onto there. All right. I'm sure you guys can visualize all of that. And you can get all your stuff together to get that going. And I think it will take, because oh my goodness, look how long I've been here already. See, I've already been here 2.5 hours. That's a long time for someone that's going to come and play it back and watch it. You know what I'm saying? So I think what we'll do as far as working on this, I'm going to say we're going to leave it, and tomorrow we will, I think we can finish this up tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to put the spine, the back spine in and finish that off. And then while that, we'll set that aside, and while that's drying, we'll put this together. And if this is dry enough to move it around, because you don't want to move it around too much, you know, while it's all wet, you don't want it to lift. You want things to really stick, because, you know, once you start moving all that binding, is, you know, you don't want it to fall apart. But I do think we can get this done tomorrow. So, yeah, I think we can do it. I do. So I hope you guys learned, you new guys, I hope you guys learned something new. I want it to be, you know, worth your while that you're learning something. Oh, Suzanne, you got some of that fabric. Isn't that cool? Isn't that fabric cool? I really like it. And it goes with a lot of different looks, you know, a lot of different looks. Yeah, so if you're available, just plan on tomorrow around about the same time, about 7. And and you know what I think I'll do? So I won't have to be worried about this drying. Um I think on one of these, either this one or this one, I'm going to go ahead and do all of the back of the spine off camera on one of them so that I have a dry one that we can sew the signatures into. And that way I have one that I can show you how to do the spine, but then the other one will already be dry so I can show you how to put in the signatures. I think that's a plan. I just thought of it. And that'll work. That way I know for sure we can do both things tomorrow. We won't have to worry about the drying time of the spine. I'm glad I thought of that. You decided to use leather wallpaper for the spine and the material for the leather wallpaper. How scrumptious is that? Never heard of such a thing. Oh, that sounds dreamy. Wow. Well, I mean, it's funny. I'm rehashing this obviously because I'm going through all of this with you. But in my brain, the stuff I've been doing, this is like so yesterday. I've been putting the kit together for Freda and I'm having so much fun. I can't believe it. And yeah. There's a couple of things, Jennifer, I'm gonna have to send you because I've added a couple of things that I didn't put in yours because I found them after after I sent yours. So I'm gonna have to send you some in a little envelope. Let's see. Okay. Yes, Central Time. Yes. Excuse me. So, so you guys can be thinking if you have any questions I didn't cover as far as the stuff I've already done, as far as how the point we're at. If you have any questions tomorrow, then I can fill in those gaps. And for those of you that are watching this replay, and then you come and join us tomorrow, just write down any little notes or questions that you have, and then we can cover those tomorrow. On this one, what did I do? See, on this one, I didn't even use the paper. It was sitting in there because I wasn't sure what to do with it yet. So that's kind of cool. I'll figure something out and use it in here somewhere. Like these tabs, the other time when we were together and we were playing with the wax, these are just pieces of construction type paper, or craft paper, and they were just waxed, and I stapled those on there. That was kind of fun to do. That was fun. This one's waxed also. I probably should put it in this book because I like this stuff. It should go in there. Well, I actually need to get a whole other one put together for this. I need to do that too. Okay, those will go in there somewhere. Very cool. Okay. I don't think Jennifer knows how to link. I don't know, Jen. I don't think my linker works. Hold on, let me see if my linker works. Let me see. Oh, she got it before? Oh man, I missed that part. Does mine work? Oh, it worked. It usually doesn't work. I'm shocked. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought it was something bad. It's not. Never mind. Never mind. All good. All good. Oh, Jean, wasn't I got to see that exhibit? Not there, not where you saw it, but I got to see it too. It was amazing. It really was. And that body cast. Well, it wasn't a body cast, but you know what I mean. Oh, have fun, Brooke. Don't burn it. I hope it has pretty marks. Oh, there she goes, Jennifer Dennett. She's a pro. Look at her. Look at her. Bing, bing, bing. Except all the kids are gone. So, okay, ladies. So, if you don't have any questions, you could be giving me also for the upcoming kits. You could give me some suggestions of themes. I've got like about maybe 3 or 4 on my list, and I'm open to suggestions, and then I can like look at my stockpile and see what I have if it fits, the theme, which I got plenty of stuff. I need to use it before I can, justify buying anything else. I got to move it out. Move it out before I can move anything in. Oh yeah, Suzanne, that is a beautiful look. I think that's so pretty. I did oh, I don't have it here. I get a friend of mine took it. Remember those big painty papers I was doing last week? I did. I don't even know where I saw it. It was somewhere on YouTube, and it was this guy that did. I'm gonna have to find him. Check my history, but he did some, kind of like abstract painting of different colors, which ended up looking sort of like my painting papers. But then he went back with charcoals and paint and all kinds of yummy stuff, and it looked so cool. So I did that. Well, I should say I tried to do it on one of those painty papers, and it actually came out looking kind of cool. But like I said, my friend took it, so I don't have it. So now I got to make another one. She just like ripped me off. Ami, are you here? You have Frida stencils? Tell us more. I've never even seen any. Man, if I had her stencil, it'd have been so easy for me to make her stamp. Yes, Suzanne. We're all going, what? Stencils? Frida? Are they old or new? Can they still be found? Where did you find them? Where can we find them? People want to know. Sheila, that is so cute. Hi, Tammy. Oh my god, I don't know why that makes me giggle. And she's the only smart one in the room because she's like just shaking her head. She knows what's going on. The rest are going, huh? Leather wallpaper. I know, huh? Kind of kinky, don't you think? I thought my textured wallpaper was strange. Oh, who did I buy this from? I'm not even going to say who because I can't remember who I bought it from. But at somebody's sale several months ago, I think it was like maybe summertime, somebody was selling large pieces of wallpaper, and I'll show you. Of course, you guys already can guess what I did with it. I didn't think it would work because most of these have like it seemed like it had some kind of sizing on it. Um, so I didn't think it would work, but I tried it anyway. And look, I eco-dyed it. And they came out kind of cool. It toned down, the bright colors of the actual paper, which I think was kind of fun, because it was a little, but look how these came out. I was really surprised. I thought the coating on them wasn't going to let it do anything, but ta-da! Did I get some of these from you, Luce? I know I got some from you. I can't remember which is which. Because I think I got some from you and some from someone else. And I'm kind of blank who that is. But anyway, all of these colors I thought, would look really cool in next month's kit. So it won't be a big piece, but I think all the kits will have, maybe half that, enough to make, a pocket or a tag or something. Um, because this looks very, very Frida, right? The colors, and she's got the flowers, and then some of these colors obviously are bright and pretty. So I just thought they'd look cool in there. Hey, Kathleen. We're just wrapping it up. Ooh, look at that. That one's pretty too. Well, I'm sorry. They're all pretty. And I still have, oh, this was just plain. So I did both sides. And I have a few more down there. I think I'm going to go ahead and get those done so that I have plenty to choose from and try to choose, the brighter color. Well, they don't have to be bright on the outside because you can always add paint to those, to brighten them up. Yeah, I think I'll finish the rest of the wallpapers. I don't have a whole bunch left, but I have plenty enough. I like how this almost like a watercolor. That's, it bled. Whoops. It bled through on the other side from this. And this was just a really super duper bright print went all the way through. Anyway, so that's what I did. And I think I'll do the rest of them. I think I'll do that this week. We're supposed to have a couple of warm days still, so I can throw them outside to dry. There you go. I got some of Luce's. I'm going to do hers too. And this is this one came out really cool. This is those, those paper placemats that they have. They don't have them all the time at my Tuesday morning, but sometimes they do. And it's by the same company that does the napkins. And it had this one. And so, of course, I had to eco-dye that one too. And make it not, so bright, make it kind of grungy. And I thought, oh man, that is cool too. Huh. It's all cool. I like that. Maybe I could tear. Ooh, how about? I think that this needs to be in my book. Yeah, that needs to be in my book. I think it needs to be in there with that third one. That third one's just, the middle one, I should say. Yeah, I think it needs to be in here somewhere. Yeah, I think, and then I think maybe, see, I'm already filling this all up. I think you can tell already. I don't know when to leave things alone. Okay, for now, things change. You know that already. It just changed right before your eyes. All right. I'll leave it alone for now. Rosemary. Oh, I'm going to have to look, Suzanne. I've been doing it the hard way. I've been making my own stuff. I don't know if you guys saw the stamp I made, because I forget who was here and who wasn't. And we're going to be doing that with the kit. but I had to do that the hard way. If I had a stencil, it'd have been really easy. Let me go get it. Where is it? Where are you? Oh, here it is. To get all the stuff out of there. Some of you already saw this. I did that stamp. Now, if I had a stencil, I could have gone, and there would have been my pattern. But I had to do it the hard way. But and then I did the hearts. And these are just done with foam. You know me and knives. I'm not going to be no carving anything. And we'll be going over this, when we do February's kit, when we work on that. So share. What are you saying, Luz? Share video link by my note with my kit, please. I'm not sure what that means. Are you talking to me? Kathleen, did they come out kind of cool? I was kind of surprised. I was kind of surprised that it even worked. I mean, I knew, I kind of sort of thought these would be okay. But she came out pretty cool. You're going to find out next month. We'll be doing this in February. I'm not going to do it 2 times. This is just a teaser for you guys to come and join me next month. Yeah, that's the only ones I printed out. Not printed, stamped out. Oh, my body, I swear, my shoulders. When you use muscles you're not used to using, it's just like, oh my goodness. Oh, wait a minute. What's going on here? A link for the video of your stamps with the kit. I don't have a link to any video with any stamp. That is what we're going to be doing in February. So I don't have that up yet to give you the link. That will be in February. Or for February. You know what I mean. The kit will probably go up before because I want to do it like mid-month, like we did now. So give time, because a lot of these things that we're doing, you guys can just do with your own stash. But there's some people that like buying the kits and stuff. So I need the travel time, the mailing time. So if I put the kits up and then, it takes a week to get there, or you're indecisive whether you want one or not, and you wait, and then you finally say, "Oh yeah, I think I want one," then it's got to get there. So that's why I'm doing it mid month, the actual putting together the kit. Okay, Luz, I'll mark you down because I know you have a very busy schedule. I'll let you know when it goes the day before it goes up. The kit, I'll let you know. And that way, if you want one, then you'll know it's going up the next day. Okay? I know, Suzanne, you are. My goodness, what you've been through. You guys, if you already got this kit and you think you're going to want the February, then just go to send me a message in Etsy, and I'll start putting down, making a list of, you know, who wants them, and then I'll put a when I go to list them, I will put a special order for you. That way, somebody else doesn't get your kit, and that way for sure you get one. So just message me in Etsy so I can keep it all straight. Oh, Donna, your power's going in and out. Oh my goodness. The last if you mean the last 15 minutes right now, we just messing around. I showed a bunch of wallpaper that I eco dyed. Um I showed this that I eco dyed. Nothing really earth shattering. Um that's about it. You you want the kit, you just I don't have any more. They're all sold. That was my January kit and they're all gone. I didn't know there was going to be such a nice reaction to the kits, So I made X amount and then those all sold out. And then I made some more and those sold out. And I don't have any more of the stuff of all the same stuff, for it to be, a kit. I don't have it. I don't have any more. I don't have any more. So, sorry. Oh, Kathleen. Yeah, it was basically we did in a nutshell is I just showed um it was basically stuff for newbies that haven't done a journal from scratch, and just basically showed, how to put them together from scratch, and little tidbits of, what you need to avoid and little things that make things easier. And that's pretty much what we did. We put all that together and then we put our signatures together so that we'd know how many we're going to have, so that tomorrow we know exactly how many signatures we'll have so that we can do this. And we're going to also do the front cover. And we're going to do that also tomorrow. I think we can wrap up the basic construction of it. We can wrap it up for sure tomorrow, and then the playing around and embellishing and doing little cute things to it, that could take us into another day if you guys want to do that together. I'll be on 7 Central Time. tomorrow. Oh yeah, Donna, I heard you guys got rain. Oh, they were showing it on the news. 5 Pacific. Yes, Kathleen. 5 Pacific. Yep. 2-hour difference. Okay, Elizabeth, thank you for joining us. All the craziness. Hope your package gets here there soon, Jennifer. Um, yeah, I think we're just 1 hour from the east, right? Yeah, I think just an hour difference. Yeah. Yes, Les Sheila, I think you're correct. Tammy, you wouldn't be sick of rain if your place was on fire. You are quite welcome, Tamar. Tamar, I'm going to talk to you real soon about those plaster journals. I've just been wavering back and forth about the class and what I'm going to do, and I'm done. So I'll talk to you about those finished ones. You are quite welcome. Oh no, your rental house burned down. Oh my goodness. So you needed the rain then. Our weather's just crazy here too. It's so warm. I'm not going to complain. It feels good. It's just very unusual. Extremely unusual. I might have to tear this one up too and put it in there. I just love how this came out. Hmm. Okay, ladies, it is 10 o'clock. I've been here 3 hours and I don't know what else to talk about unless you guys have questions or anything. Um, it's up to you guys. Ah, Donna, that's crazy. I know there was this. I've only had out of. I can't even tell you how much my bet. Let me put it this way: my best seller on my Etsy shop is my eco dyed paper. So go from there. All right. I've only had one person leave me. I think. Well, she said first she sent me a private message, and then she put it down. You know where you can leave comments. What do you call it? You know what I mean? Um, in the shop and reviews. I think is what it's called. Anyway, so in her private message, she says that out of all the papers I sent her, she could only probably use 2 of them, and she had to throw the rest of them away. So I contacted her and I said, well, what was wrong with them? And she said the prints weren't perfect. So I wrote her back and I said, if all the prints were perfect, I would frame them and charge you for one what I charged you for all of them. I mean, really. I mean, I've seen people on Etsy where they have, a piece this size, they have it framed, and they're charging $35 for one print, you know. And they aren't perfect. Let me tell you, there is no perfect print. This is organic. Hello, organic. I just go, whatever. You just never know, what people want. I don't know what she thought. I think she thought she was going to frame them and sell them. And there was only two in there that she probably thought she could frame and sell. Well, too bad. That's not what I make them for. Yeah, it's funny what people expect. And out of all my journals, I've had one lady complain about my journal, and she was saying how it wasn't what she expected. She thought it was this, she thought it was going to be that, and she went on about what she thought it was going to be. And I said, I'm a little confused because on those of you that have seen my listings, on all of my listings, I have many pictures, and then I make a video of a flip through so that there is no question about what's in my journal. It isn't like I give a teaser, a picture and it looks one way, and then when you open it up, it's something different. No, I do a flip through for every single page, and I put that link in the listing, and I put down there for, a full flip through. You can see it here, blah, 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 and I'll leave the link. So for anyone to say that the journal wasn't what they thought it was going to be, you know, you know, they just didn't look, or they just like to complain, one or the other. Is No, it's not an art supply. It's it's going to be different all the time, but this particular one in January is a kit to make this journal. That's what the kit was. It has the stuff to make this journal, in the ins and outs to make that journal. And next month, um, whoops, I'm losing stuff here. Um, Next month we're doing Frida, and so we're going to be making a journal. It's going to be a special looking journal. I'm going to have it a little unique. And so I'm just selling the kits, and we're doing the classes. As you can see, we're going to do tutorials here together. So if you have a big stash of your own, you don't have to buy a kit, and you just play along with us. Or maybe you have a big stash, but you like other people's stuff, like I do sometimes. And so that I'm providing the kit so that you can make it. So um, each time, like I did for this one, I'll show the finished product of what I did with my kit, which was, this is what I showed you guys. And yours may look totally different from mine. You can use the same, we can all use the same supplies, and it comes out different. And so right now, I've almost got all the kit together for Frida. I've got most of the stuff, but I saw something I wanted to put in there, so I'm waiting for that to arrive. I ordered that. And then I'm going to make a journal and show you the journal, and then you can buy the kit, and then you can play along to make a similar journal. Brands are lighter dark peach. I wonder. Suzanne, my experience with that, this is my personal experience, is that the different types of avocados, because there's oodles types, but where I live, there's only like two basic kinds, and I don't have access to the Haas, and the Haas are supposed to be the best ones when it comes to pink. They're supposed to be the best ones, pinkish, peachish kind of like color. But from what I've learned with my eco dyeing, is that you can get a tree in the same town, and get the same type of tree, same species, and get their leaves, and they are totally different. And it has to do with the mineral content in the ground. And that gets absorbed, obviously, in the plant, and it's going to reflect on, what it produces. And I think when it comes to the avocados, you got some avocados from Mexico, you got it from Peru, you've got them from all these different countries. And I think whatever's in their soil, when we try to use it for our dining purposes, they all come out a little bit different based on, the soil content, the pollution in the air, whatever they're sucking into those trees. And I honestly think that's why we see such a variation on a simple thing like using avocados to dye stuff, you know? So, Luz, I was thinking, okay, I'm way behind on this. I got a what am I trying to say? I'm losing words. I'm losing it right now in my head. Um, I keep now that I'm thinking Facebook, I can't think of anything but Facebook. That's not what I want to say. Website. Thank you. Um, I signed up for this to create a website, which I don't know how to do it. And Darla. Oh, she's going to kill me. I hope she doesn't watch this. Darla has volunteered to come, or I kind of volunteered her to try and help me. And she was waiting for some password from me, and I'm having trouble finding my password to give it to her. I'm probably going to have to redo it. And she's going to help me set up because some people don't even do Facebook. So we thought, well, some people could go there and do that and show the pictures. So, but those of you that are on Facebook, I think that would be great just to go on my regular page, under my name. Doesn't have to be the group or anything like that, just my name, and post them on there. I think it would be super cool to see what you guys are doing. And then once we get the website, you know, being kind of normal, then maybe we could, because everybody can have access to that, even if you're not on Facebook. And we can start maybe putting them there and on my main page, whatever is more comfortable for you guys. So yeah, exactly, Kathleen. The water too. And that's what I tell people that ask me about the eco dyeing. And even I have a workshop on eco dyeing there in my Etsy, and the first thing I tell them is your results are not going to be the same based on all that stuff, the water, the oil, I mean the oil, oh my gosh, the lead. There's a lot of lead that's been seeping up from different waters and chemical things. And if you're by a river and things seep in, like I'm really close to a river, so who knows what is in the earth around here. Yeah, who knows. Hey, Samantha, we're just having the last rounds of drinks. We're getting ready to shut down this place. I bet you Samantha was at a sale. I know there was sales tonight. I bet you. Huh, Samantha? Exactly. Sometimes that last drink is the best one. You said 2008. Yeah, I think those are better for your paper. Definitely. Definitely. That is so funny. Oh, crazy people. Anyway, I was saying about I remembered because I moved my shoulder and it hurt. I was talking about how when you use muscles you haven't used in a long time or different muscles. And I've already, told you about my old dog. But the vet had told us that if we just wrap a pillow, wrap wrap a towel underneath him, and then grab all ends and try to lift him up, and that would help him a lot because we've tried different kind of things that we bought and they just don't work. They just don't apply to his issues, and it's just not helpful at all. And it's very cumbersome for him putting these different things on him, and it's just a mess. So I tried that, and so I grabbed them. I grabbed the towel, and you have to imagine he's laying down. You guys got dogs. His forelegs are out off in the same direction, and you got to like swoop him up, pick him up, move him off the pillow, find some ground, hope he finds his 4 feet are all in the same direction. And then I slowly start putting him down to get a little bit of weight on his legs so he can get his, like, what they call his little sea legs, right? And then when I kind of feel like the tension is off of me, I figure, okay, well, he's kind of on there, and I'll let go of the towel a tiny bit. And then I realize, okay, he's standing, and then I can let go. Now, I'm doing this from the ground, dead weight, to 100-pound dog. All right. Trust me, I'm using muscles I don't ever use. I have no reason to be picking up 100 pounds off the floor with my arms extended out because I have to lift him up. It's like, owie. But it's funny, he learned really fast. He learned faster than I did. The first couple of times I did it, he kind of like moaned and cried. He was scared. He didn't know what I was doing. And he's already tender because he has a bladder infection that won't go away. He's been on antibiotics off and on for over a year. So I know he's tender, right there on his tummy where I'm pulling him up and everything. And so after I think about 2 times, I think he kind of like, hey, wait a minute. I don't have to go through all the trouble trying to get up and straining his muscles where he hurts, and all that. He has really bad arthritis on his back legs. And so he's just so smart. He just got it so quick. So now today, he's so funny. Today he's going, ooh, because he talks. I call him Scooby Doo. That's his nickname because he talks like Scooby Doo. And so he's there going, well, I go, what do you want? You to go out now or what? Like, stupid. What do you think? So I go get the towel and I have to scoot it under this way and that way. And then before anything, he just lays all the way down flat. Because the second thing I learned was grab him and then I roll him off because he's on his pillow, nice fluffy big pillow. So I have to roll him off the pillow so I can stand him up on steady ground. So now he knows I grab the towel and I roll him off the pillow. So he just kind of halfway rolled over, like, let's get this over with. I'll help you out. He's rolling himself, helping me roll him off the pillow. And then when we get to the ground, then he looks over his shoulder at me like, okay, what are you waiting for? Let's get up. I gotta go pee really bad. So there I am, grabbing him, getting him up, and then as soon as his weight I know is on the ground, and then I let go of the towel. As soon as the towel touches the ground, he takes off. Well, for him, it's and it's so funny. But we've got a routine now. I'm not nervous because I was like so like, oh my goodness, how am I going to help this poor guy? Everything we bought to try and make it easier for him. It doesn't work, or it just takes forever to get it on him. And by the time we get it on him, it's not something he can like sleep in and be comfortable. And oh, Lordy. But anyway, so yeah, a stupid towel. So, and he cooperates. It isn't like, he's fighting me and I'm trying to get him up and he's knocking me over and I'm losing my belt. None of that. We got a little routine going. Slide him up, pick him up, put him down. But anyway, but my shoulders hurt because they're sore. It might take a while. I've only been doing this about a week, but I do it like maybe 4 times a day at least. And so it's like, "Wah, wah." Oh, okay, CJ, thank you. Oh, that's gonna be so cool. I haven't made one yet. I haven't even made one yet. I need to get one going, at least one little one. Yeah, I'll be buff. And then our other Rottweiler, we don't know how old she is either, um, because they're both rescue dogs. But when we got her, she was extremely bow-legged in the back. And now, poor thing, um, like say this is her back legs. So now when she gets up, this leg is really in. And so when she starts to walk, sometimes it just falls from under her and she kind of falls over. And I'm going, oh, please. Rottweilers are known for hip dysplasia problems. I do not need her to fall over on her hip. And oh my gosh. So I got to keep an eye on her because she's very energetic and she wants to do stuff. But now she's learned too because the other dogs, they all like to chase all the squirrels in the yard because we have a pecan tree. So we're like a haven there for squirrels. And they chase them and I won't even describe what they do to them. But anyway, so now she's gotten smart and she knows that when they go out chasing, she goes to the end of the deck there and she just kind of rolls her eyes and looks over and watches them for a while, and lets them tire down the squirrel. And then when she thinks it's an opportune moment, then she goes over there kind of casually. But she used to dart all over the place, and she was the boss. She still thinks she's the boss, but that's okay. Rosemary, are you selling the Digi for the cover? No, it was just I included it in the kit. I don't know how to do digis. Honestly, I don't. I'm going to tell you right up front. All the things I like to do and do, I can't figure out. I don't know if you have template. I don't know. I don't know how to do digis. So, I don't know. All I did with this, honestly, is I just, what did I do? I scanned um, one of the book covers, and then I just printed them out and sent them in the kits that didn't have the hardbacks. Is it a journal? Yeah. Oh, not this. Are you looking at? I'm sure you're talking about that. This is the journal we're talking about. This is just some paper that I eco-dyed. This was I got this at Tuesday morning, and there was another piece over here that I just tore out, and they sell them as placemats. And it's the same company that does those pretty napkins. Oh, see? I don't know, Kathleen. I told you I'm brain dead when it comes to digis. Well, I guess when I think of a digi, I think of, where they configure, different shapes and styles and stuff. Yeah, I know how to scan, I know how to create a file, and, I know how to do that, but I don't know how to do anything other than that. I don't know how to make anything fancy. I don't know how to make envelopes. I don't know how to make tags. I don't know how to do Photoshop. Let's put it that way. That'll explain everything. I don't do Photoshop. I saved the scan, Lucy. Well, there I go. See, I didn't know. I know how to do digis. Excuse me. I know. I guess I am smarter than I think. Oh my goodness. Yeah, because see, I did it like that. That's the cover scanned. And then I sent that out. And then what we do is we cut it in half, which is creating this. We'll get to that tomorrow. Finish that up. And this is the one that and then I I saved for myself the ugliest of the real one. It's all torn up and everything. So I'll be finishing this up and do something with that. Maybe I'll print another one of these and kind of fill it in or something. I'm not sure yet. There you go. But see what I don't know how to this what I don't know how to do. Or maybe I can figure it out. When I scan, I don't know if it's because I have a cheap scanner. Mine is the all-in-one type. It's not like a, a standalone scanner. But when I scan in, see all this dark here? It's got that white cover on the lid. I'm not sure why it doesn't just scan this and why it comes out dark around the edges. I think you can see that, right? And it does that with anything that I scan. And because my top doesn't it doesn't lift up and close, there's that gap. Maybe that gap of light that's going in makes that discoloration around it. I'm not really sure. But then I went in with the regular program there in my computer and I took all this out. I what did I do? What did I do? I forget what I did. But then what ended up happening was when I went to go print it, then this thing was the whole page. It was gigantic. It wasn't the size I wanted. And then I didn't know how to bring it back down to the size that I want. I was getting way in over my head. See, mine doesn't let me do that. I don't see anything when I'm scanning. It doesn't show me anything. So there's nothing I can do. I have to do it post scan. I have to do inside my computer after it's been saved, after I've saved it. Right, exactly, Brenda. That's what I was saying. Mine, because there are some out there that are made for, that you can do books and things like that. Yeah, see, I don't have a preview. Mine's cheap. What can I say? I got cheap stuff. And see, like you guys, you're here with me and we do things together. It wouldn't bother you to get something like this. But just a Joe Schmo that comes onto Etsy looking for something to buy, and then they get this, they would go, what an amateur, which they're right. This is amateurish. I know you guys don't care, but like to sell it to, people I don't know, I think that looks bad. I can do that. See, I don't know what I can do. Okay, Brenda, quit showing off. See, I have what do I have? I have an Epson. All right. It's the kind that has the eco, what you call it, on the outside. And It's a 2550. Okay, so it's a printer, which I like my printer, but the scanner that comes with it. Now I'm telling you, it doesn't give me that option, but that's just me. Maybe, I'm doing something wrong, and maybe it does have the option, and I just haven't found it. But like nothing pops up when I go to scan. Nothing, there's no window that pops up and asks me or shows me or anything. So, so I don't know. Okay, Kathleen, I'll do that. Okay. Brenda's showing off that she paid less than me and she can go and look at her preview for her scan. Okay, thanks, Lucy. I appreciate it. But you know what's so strange? I have not figured it out. Do you know that when maybe you guys already know this, but okay, I had my old laptop, right? And I had my what do you call it? The printer through there. I had the camera through there. Everything obviously went through there. Okay, so then I got um my desktop, my new computer. And when I plugged in my um printer, the whole thing that I normally see when I go to print was totally different. Everything was different than when I do it on my laptop. It's the same printer. So I go, wait a minute. So I unplugged it and went over and put it and plugged it back into my laptop. And something totally different came up from the other one. Same thing with my camera. Everything was different on my other computer. Now, maybe there's a logical reason, and you guys know what that reason is. I don't know what that is, but it was so odd. I think if I got a third computer in here, it would look a third way to further confuse me. It's just so strange. Oh, see, I was thinking of getting a laser, but I only wanted a black and white for the kind of stuff that I like to do with the transfers and stuff like that. And just the black and white ones, they're very reasonable. Um, and I still might do it, but I'm not sure. Mm, maybe I just don't do things enough to figure out how to do stuff. Or maybe I just don't have enough confidence. I don't know. I don't know. If you can figure out what. Oh, grayscale. Oh, okay. No, I don't know anything about that. Oh, wow. See, I used to have a really good printer. I used to be, okay, this was before I lived here. Um, it was fantastic. It was like one of those kind of big monster ones too. And I loved that computer. That printer. I mean, literally everything was at a touch of a button. The whole thing was there for you to do stuff, and it really spoiled me. But I had it because of my job. It was at home, but only justification was that it made my job easier. So, fast forward to now, when we got our first printer here, when we moved here, we just got a regular old, we didn't need it for anything in particular. So it was, I don't know, it cost us under $100. And that lasted for, maybe 6 years or something. And then something happened, it petered out. So I got another one. And then when I started doing all this stuff, I thought, oh, maybe I need to, I'm paying too much for all this ink. Even if I got the off brand or if I refilled them, it was still a lot of stuff for ink. So then somebody had told me about these, that they use a lot less ink. So that's why I bought it. And I'm happy with it. It's a lot better than my other printer was. But I still remember my old one. That was, it did everything. So I guess maybe I still think about that and go, I wish I could do this. Oh, wireless. Well, see, mine has wireless capability, but it's all I have to wire. Because over here in my studio, I don't have Wi-Fi. So, that's the problem. My computer, my internet is hot wired in because I won't it doesn't reach over here. I guess I could no, I can't. We can only have one Wi-Fi. It's either at the house or here. We can't have one on each because we're on it's the same account. Yeah, I've done it on Fabric too. It works pretty good. That's the one I have, 2550. Oh, it does not. Oh, I misread that. Ah. Hmm. Jennifer. Oh, I'm just here complaining about about my printer and digitals and what I know how to do, what I don't know how to do. Well, I don't think any printer is meant to print on fabric, right? They're not meant to, but almost all of them do. Luce, wait till you move. Wait till you move. Good night, Samantha. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow. 7 o'clock Central. Bring your own drinks. Yeah, I bet, Luce. I'd be lost without a printer too. Luce, tell everybody when your sale is. I forgot what day it is. 2 days or when is it? Tell everybody when it is. I'm getting hungry. It must be cracker time. Friday at noon and Saturday at 2. And that's Eastern time, correct, Luce? Okie dokie. Thank you, Luce. I think CJ's answering my question. New computer, newer programs. But if they ask you to do the updates on the old computer and I do the updates, why don't they update with the new programs? Huh? 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 There are so many papers out there, and they do all print differently, I must say. Because there's some things that they sell a wide variety of the same thing, and you really can't see any difference. But when it comes to paper and the weight of the paper, and what kind of fibers are in it, you can really tell the difference. I mean, if you care. Some of the stuff I do, I don't care. I end up tweaking. Whenever I have something, I always end up tweaking the colors and stuff to make it come out a little different. Like I just had, where is it? If it's close by, I'll show you. Let me see. Where is that one? Oh, here it is. Oh, I can't move my muscles. Like this. I did this I wanted it a little grainier. And I did this on, I think this is parchment paper. And so it ended up looking completely, I also did it on the regular, or did I? Do I have some here or not? I don't know if it'll show up live. Here I can see the big difference. I'm not seeing a big difference on the monitor. But I liked it on the parchment because it was grainy. And I liked that grainy look to it. This is really on the monitor it looks the same. Oh well. But this is very clear, and this has lots of speckles on everything, but it's the paper. It's the parchment. And I really like the way it looks. The one on the right is better. And that's the parchment one. That's the one I like. Yeah, Brenda, they always do. And my parchment paper and um resume papers and different kinds of stuff, I always get those too. I've never paid regular price for this type of paper. It's always at some kind of a junk shop or resale something. Anyway, I do. I like how it came out on the parchment a lot. Whoops, upside down. And to me, it just has a kind of a mystery, grainy look. But the only thing I don't like about it when it comes like to journal making is what it looks like. You can see the whole thing in the back. I don't know, that's just my printer, but it's true for like most papers. I don't like that. I know now I'm just complaining, but I don't like it. Pretty. I like that. Yeah, Sam's Club does has good prices on paper. They really do. I don't print all that much on cardstock. Just every once in a while if I'm doing maybe some tags or something. Otherwise, I don't. And I like getting old manila folders and printing on that. I like the color of them. Well, when you get out of New York, Luce, you might. Are you still ending up in Pennsylvania, or has that changed? Oh, Pennsylvania. Okie dokie. They probably have them. You're going to be out there with the regular folks. I don't remember where I got this little printout. I have to check my files. Look at this cute little book. I haven't put the cover yet, obviously. Look how cute. I know a lot of different people have them. I just can't remember where I got this one. Isn't that cute? Oops. Ta-da! No corner store. No, not in Pennsylvania. Here either. Not like New York. I mean, I put it together, but um, I don't know if I got to double check where I got the print out. I can't remember. I didn't I didn't put the print out together. No. I found it somewhere. It was free. I can't remember what website had it. I'm going to see if I saved it. Sometimes I'm just going through things and see something cute and I print it. See, I wonder if I like that or not. And then I forget to keep it. Oh, I can't remember at all. But it is cute. Cute little book. Whoa! Okay, ladies, I've been saying this for the past hour. I think are you guys done now? Done, Kathleen. There's this artist. Oh dear. I'm gonna get her name next time we get together. Oh, tomorrow. And I'm trying to be inspired by her style. I really really like what she does. She does very organic journals that and they're just my kind of journal. I mean, obviously she puts a lot of thought and design in it, but the finished product looks like it's just kind of thrown together, and it wasn't. It was all very purposeful how she put it together. But I really, really like how it looks. I'll share her name with you guys tomorrow if I can find it. Me. Get inspired, leave her, and then I forget how to get back. You're my kind of girl, Kathleen. I'm cheap too. I think that's what attracted me to junk journaling. Like, oh my gosh, you can use all this junk. It's free. And then you go down the rabbit hole, and there's just, no recovering. Not at all. Yep, the doing is always more fun, no matter what it is. Okay, ladies, it's almost 11 o'clock. I haven't had supper, and I'm hungry, and I'm just remembering I haven't had lunch. I had a late breakfast. I had a real late breakfast. I ate like about, 10:30, 11 o'clock. So that was almost lunch. But, I got to keep up that strength for the Rottweiler lift up. Yeah, like I need weight. Um, all right, ladies. Thank you so much for keeping me company and educating me about various things. And if you're available, I will be here tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Time, and we'll pick up where we left off and see how we finish off this little cute thing. Alrighty. Say good night, everybody. Good night. Good night. Say it. Say it. Say good night to everybody. Hey, Patricia, I didn't know you were here. I missed you somewhere. Good night, John Boy. Maybe. No, come on, Jennifer. I'm for real this time. I'm for real this time. Okay, ladies. Thank you. I am for real because I'm hungry. If I wasn't hungry, we'd still be lollygagging, but I want to go eat something. All right. See you guys tomorrow at 7. Night.